Welcome to Global Purpose Day. I am so excited about this. It's been an incredible journey with Oscar and Vanessa and Day and Gino and I feel really blessed to be celebrating this, to actually to create it and declare it. We stand for purpose, for a planet on purpose, and all the things that brings for our own lives and for the world. So, by show of hands, who here has done some kind of purpose discovery work? All right, wow, about half. That's good, awesome. So we're gonna dive into that today. We're gonna go through the definition of purpose. Well, a definition that I use and a couple other purpose guides use. We're gonna talk about the science of purpose. We're gonna do an exercise. Then we're gonna kind of come back to big picture and place ourselves in space and time right here as part of this kind of growing global purpose movement. I mean, this is something that is very unique. Folks didn't talk about purpose. They did, the Socratics did, and our ancient wisdom traditions did, but within modern history, it's a very unique thing that we're actually like, oh yeah, this is important. Let's do this. This sounds like a lot of fun. So I think it's probably important to state what my purpose is as a purpose guide. So as a man of wonder and integrity, I inspire and guide people to find their life's purpose in service of a just, sustainable, and peaceful human presence on planet Earth. And by the end of this half-hour session, you guys are going to have something similar. Maybe it might not be the purpose, right? But it'll be something you can play with. And that's what I'm going to encourage you guys to kind of take on is can I play with this? Can I be in relationship to purpose? Day actually says it so beautifully about seducing the purpose and courting the purpose and calling in the mystery. And I won't try to do my Day impression because he's so good at it. So let's dive into the science of purpose. Now, as Vanessa said, there's an ebook out called The Science of Purpose. It's yours free. It's your free gift that we'll give you all tonight. There's a link you can go to and you can download for free. And this is part of a book that's actually coming out in June called Planet on Purpose. And it's got the 21-day challenge in it, so there's a way for you to embody your purpose. But more importantly, it shows why purpose is a proven best practice. So it's something that we're all kind of aware exists, but we're not doing it. It's up there with 8 hours of sleep. It's up there with yoga and meditation and being nice to the people you like. It is a proven best practice. And what science has found, they've been able to quantify this. And they found that people who find their life's purpose live 7 years longer in some cases. The mortality rates decrease by 23%. And the reason for this is that your body's actually producing less cortisol, and you're not obviously getting involved in things that distract you from your life's purpose. You're not sitting on the couch and consuming vices like Hunter Thompson. You are living your purpose, and so your body serves your purpose. Your self-care serves your purpose. So it's this kind of that inner motivation to A, take care of yourself, but B, it provides this kind of background radiation of meaning in your whole life. So every time something falls apart, like a relationship or a job or some kind of rejection, it's against this background story. It's not like, oh my God, this thing happened and I'm inside the rejection. No, you're like, no, I'm inside the Mahabharata, and I don't need to focus on this one battle I lost. There's this grand narrative of my life. So that's what it does to people's bodies. It actually propels their body to move forward in ways that are generative, that are aligned with the purpose. So that's just health. So purpose has also been proven to increase your experience of love by up to 31%. So folks who are on purpose and in partnership, it seems to work out for them. It's more of a generative connection, which is awesome. There's my girlfriend there. I think, are you 31% more happy with being on purpose, give or take? I think I'm 32. You might. Another important reason, a lot of reason why people come to the question of purposes around career, like what do I do with myself? Why do I hate my job? Why do I have this like string of bosses who stink? Or there's string of job assignments that stink, or I'm getting passed over for promotion, or I keep getting canned, or my startup keeps not succeeding, or whatever it is. So what they found is that folks who know their life's purpose actually perform incredibly well in the workplace. They're 50% more likely to be a leader. So you know your purpose, you're gonna like rise to the ranks because you are on fire, you're aligned, you're aggregated. You're not kind of like working for the weekend or the evening or retirement and like just kind of waiting for life to end. You're actually like, I'm excited about my job, which we don't hear that often. 87% of humanity is disengaged at work. A recent Gallup study said this. So imagine if you were just sitting around, like let's say we were all friends and we were all talking about how awesome our jobs were and not the kind of platitudes like, oh, it's great, everything's fine. No, but like, no, I'm so on fire with my job. I love it. I just got this thing and this new project, and I feel so grateful and blessed. Imagine if that was like everyone's reality. And it is for the other 13% who are super engaged and like going off. They're like, the work geeks who are like, hey, I love my job. Like we can all be that. So one of the reasons why we're 50% more likely to be leaders is that we are 4 times more likely to be engaged in our job when we're on fire with purpose. We're twice as likely to learn something new each day. So when we know our life's purpose, we're actually kind of aware. We're looking out at the world like, how can I solve this problem? Because I care about it, not because I'm getting paid to do it. Yeah, you should get paid to do it too, but you're solving problems because you're curious. You want to see the things succeed, whatever it is. So the last piece, and this is the part that fires me up most. Not that I don't care about all of you, and I want you to find your purpose and to be happy and to have 31% more love, and like I want that for you. You're welcome. But what really inspires me is that this is the seed of cultural revolution. We create purpose at the individual level, at the partnership level, at the family level, and then finally at the community level, workplace level. Think about purpose from San Francisco Bay Area level, the California level. Like, what is the purpose of America? What is the purpose of the human species and the planet Earth? That's all part of the same purpose conversation. But it starts here. It starts like, just getting aligned. And the thing is, science has proven that folks who find their purpose are 50% more likely to be engaged in philanthropy and volunteering. It's yielded all sorts of benefits. It makes people more what's the word I'm looking for? More excited learners, especially kids. So not only do adults have this kind of 2x kind of learning boon, but kids get excited. It's like, right at the core of that Montessori method is the idea that it's about what's important to the kid. So the kid says like, oh yeah, this is what's important to me. I like sharks. I'm gonna learn everything about sharks and count their teeth and write stories about them. And so the kids end up learning a ton. By the way, Vanessa, how am I doing on time? Do I have a clock anywhere? So I could bore you forever on all these purpose statistics. I love to talk about why purpose is so cool, but I won't. So let's move into actually what it is and how we can discover it right here. So part of the reason for this, in addition to this being a natural evolution of Oscar and Vanessa, my working relationship, and Day, and now Gino, is that there's a lot of rubbish out there on what purpose is. Like tons. You go and there's all these TED Talks about passion and meaning and happiness and success, and it is nonsense. It is utter nonsense. And it really, I've written rants about we need to dissect TED and throw it out the door, and how can we allow this stuff to be in our culture? Because it's false. A lot of it's false. So anyways, I'm going to give you a simple definition, and one that I'm going to give you a mudra mnemonic. So you guys have seen this. You've seen the Buddha pictures doing this before, correct? So I hold that there are 4 key parts of purpose. And I've worked with other models. Sharon, Susan, and I are studying a model where we have 8. So I hold that there's your being, so the qualities of your consciousness, what it's like to be you. There are your talents, the things that most unify you, the things that you would do regardless, like your giveaway, your contribution to the world, the things that are kind of your natural full level abilities. And then there's your mission. So how you combine your being and your talents towards a goal. Like, oh, I'm going to go, solve poverty, or I'm going to go eradicate HIV in Africa. It's like taking like an awareness of something you care about, and then taking your awareness of who you want to be and what you want to do to achieve the goal. Now, the last piece, and this is the most controversial piece, is context. So we all might know some very famous purposes out there that were not generative on the whole for humanity, or even for themselves, really. So context, and this is why it's the forefinger with the thumb, is how your understanding of the world and your understanding of yourself informs your understanding of reality. So there's a part of it's like straight up book learning. You got to understand where you are, economics, politics, all that kind of stuff. But also you need to understand your psychological filters. How are you processing the data coming in? So the mission is built basically on all three of these. So you've got your being, your talents, your mission, and your context. So that's what we're going to do right now. So I'm going to invite all of you to take out your notebooks again, and we're going to play with this and start to explore. You two don't have notebooks. Are you telepathically doing this? All right, let's get the non-notebook people some notebooks quickly, because I want them to get everything they came for. So once you find your notebook, I'm going to invite you to actually close your eyes. Now, as Oscar beautifully led us today, I'm going to invite you to recall some spacious moments, maybe purposeful moments. And actually, these moments exist on this bedrock of kind of being carefree. So I want you to imagine you're waking up in the morning and you don't have anything on your to-do list. Bank account's flush, zero debt, all the people who depend on you getting their needs met. Nobody wants you to do anything, and you get to choose how you contribute yourself, how you are a contribution to your own self, and how you contribute to the world. You get to choose the things that you do that day, and potentially for all days going forward. So I invite you to think of some activities that you would populate these days with. Who would you be with? How would you contribute? What are the activities that bring you most alive, that unify you with the moment? So now open your eyes and just write down any activities that came up. It could be lovemaking, it could be cooking, it could be writing, it could be client meetings, it could be gardening, whatever it is, like things where you just you're so fully engaged in. Now for me, it is a lot of those things. It is cooking, it is lovemaking, it is writing, it's speaking, it's reading great books, underlining great books, arguing with great books. Like, I love doing that. See if you can get at least 5. Okay. Now, wherever you're at, it's fine to stop. So now I'm going to invite you to close your eyes again. Now, drop into that feeling again of this kind of boundless day where nothing is required of you. You get to create your day, and foreseeably every day thereafter. How does that feel? How does it feel to think of a whole week where you get to do the things that you love to do? Contribute in the way that is your highest contribution. To be with the people you love, doing the things that you love. What are words that would you would use to describe the quality of your consciousness in those moments? Could be expansive. So for me, it's like joy, and curiosity, and wonder, play. So now open your eyes, and I want you to write down in another section, so make a line on, after the last section. Write down the quality of your consciousness when your life is optimal, when you are doing all the things that you are doing. And it should be qualities. So sometimes you're going to be expansive, and sometimes you're going to be totally focused. Sometimes you're going to be free. Other times you're going to feel incredibly bound to a greater outcome or a greater cause. And so they don't have to make sense. Like your critic, that part of you that wants to make all this, turn this into, a job at 10 p.m. tonight, you can give him $5, tell him to go down to the candy store. You don't need him. So as you get your 5 qualifiers written down, again, I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. So we're going to have an energetic shift here. I want you now to envision all the things that break your heart. The things that in your own life, like family members who are suffering, the things not working the way they should work, parts of your daily experience. And you can go global too. Think about big things. Things that just either reduce you to tears or drive you to justifiable moral outrage. Think about what's happening with our climate, with our children, our government, climate change, species extinction. I'm not going to bum you guys out too much, but like really think about the ones that are like, oh God, if I hear another human trafficking story again, I am going to punch something. Like, it's those things that elicit a visceral body reaction from you, like, no, not on my watch. So now open your eyes and write down as many things as you can that just break your heart, that tear you in two. Things that make you want to get to the barricades. It's a messed up world out there. I'm mad as hell. I'm not going to take it anymore. All right, as soon as you get 5, now we get to the fun place. So what we get to do now is create some purpose statements. Now, you can sit with the energetic signature of that, of what it's like to be fully aligned for weeks on end, doing the things you love to do, and how it feels to do that. And then also the things in the world that you are committed to seeing a different outcome. So what we're going to do, I'm going to give you guys the formula. So the first is, I am blank. And then on the next line, you want to write, who blank. And then the next line, in service of blank. So this is the formula for a purpose statement. And and as you could probably guess, context is embedded in mission somewhere. I mean, we don't have enough time to flush all this stuff out. But with these 3 parts, the being, talents, mission. So the being is the I am. So I am a man of integrity and wonder. talents, guide, inspire, and mission in service of a just, sustainable, and peaceful human presence on planet Earth. So let's generate. And remember, the critic is still blocks away at the candy store. So you don't have to generate anything that makes any sense at all. This is just about, like, if you really want to quantify progress, the more different your purpose statements can be in this exercise, the better. So see how many different kinds of purpose statements you can write. As a caring woman, I teach in service of, infinite childhood potential. Or as a artistic man, I inquire in service of more beauty in the world. It can be any of these things. And just get, I would write out about 3 or 4 or 5 possible purpose statements. And they don't have to have anything to do with your job. They don't have to do anything to do with what's possible, what you're going to do on Monday. This is just playing with the idea of a purpose statement. Now, as Vanessa mentioned, this is part of a larger exercise and a larger piece of education. So we'll do the full exercise on Sunday, the first day of the 21-day Purpose Challenge. And then it's part of the larger 3-week purpose immersion experience. So who's got 3 purpose statements written? No one yet. Okay, I'm going to give you more time. Doesn't have to be perfect. Nobody's going to read it. I just heard from your critic he got lost. He's not coming back. He just texted me. He's in Emeryville. So I'll give you a couple more seconds to finish up, but I want to encourage you to keep playing with this. Now, one of the things we do in the challenge is we actually rewrite purpose statements every day because it is an evolution. It is a dance. My purpose statement is, I generate it differently all the time. Like, it's what's true for you. And so an exercise you can take on right now is to rewrite it. Look at what you wrote and then rewrite it again tomorrow and then rewrite it again the next day. And I would put a cap on it, like 5 times or 10 times. And to see if you start to see if a mean starts to occur, where you're like, oh, wait a minute, this is actually what feels right. So now that you have this tool, I'm going to ask everyone to kind of put their pencils down. Pencils down, heads up, time's up. So now you have this tool, you can evolve it and sharpen it, And the reason to do that is that this is a decision-making tool. You can actually, when you're in a place of like, should I date her or should I not date her? Should I take this job or not take this job? Like, which one serves my purpose? So it's like Lady Justice. Like, it'll tell you which one is actually more aligned with your soul's path, as opposed to like your ego or what's going to pay more or what's going to look better. So you can use this thing. Now I want to back up really quick, and then I'm going to get off the stage, I promise. So as I alluded to before, this is absolutely important, critical best practice for everybody's life. There is no such thing as a person who doesn't have a purpose. We all have it. And there are several types of purposes, and like Sharon and Susan and I are swimming in definitions of purpose and ways you can cut it and slice it, and it's really fun. And it's also something that has to be top of mind. Like if purpose isn't part of the daily vernacular, this is just going to be a workshop that, oh, that was nice. I did a purpose statement exercise. Day said some cool stuff. Gino had a great song, and now I go back to the matrix where there's no purpose, and I'm regressing again. So this has to be something continued. So I don't care what you do. I don't care if it's a purpose challenge. I don't care if you find a coach or do a program or I don't really care. But it's got to be in the conversation consistently, daily, hopefully. Like, what is your purpose and how are you living it? Because what's happening here, and it's evolutionarily significant that you do this. It's not just significant in your life. It's significant for our species. So I mentioned 87% of humanity checked out, like not connected to their purpose. That means 13% are, and that's an important number. So tipping point stats, as they hold, at 13.5%, when a trend hits 13.5%, that's when the mainstream says, oh yeah, purpose. So we're pretty close to the line, like really close. It could be as few as the next 10,000 people to find their purpose, actually create the thing like, oh yeah, we do this now, like we have smartphones. Like this could be the thing we do now. So it's not just your purpose and how it affects your life, it's your purpose and how it affects everybody else. Because if you're a stand for purpose, you're a stand for not only your own purpose, but the people around you, people you love, finding their purpose and getting out of, their limiting beliefs and defeating thought patterns. So this is a all hands on deck moment for the species, and I don't want to belabor you with the statistics for why that's so. We're in the East Bay, we all know how messed up things are, environmentally, politically, economically. If we don't do this, a lot's at stake, not only for our own lives, but for our species. And so with that, I am going to beseech all of you to seduce your purpose, to love it, to have it top of mind, have fun with it,